Alright, welcome to College Physics 1. When you first log into the iNet section, which is really just a Moodle course setup, this is what you're going to see. We have 7 units, and I'm going to post announcements here rather than send you a bunch of email that you may or may not care about too much. If it's really important, I'll go ahead and send an email, but otherwise I'll just post the message here. Your calendar is posted, so if you click on that, it should open up the calendar page, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of how you should space out your work. It includes the due dates, and I've color-coded the units by time there. Let's go back to the next. The syllabus is also there. Make sure you take a look at that. And all of the reading assignments, so you know that I also put due dates along here as well. The unit, the topic that'll be there. And since there are 2 different books that you may use, now the OpenStax book is the primary book for the class. That's what we're going to use for the reading. But the Night Second is the previous book that we used to use for the class, and I still use the problem sets out of that book for now. And so if you chose to get a full book, now that I think those are actually, they may be cheaper than now the custom book that I have. But anyway, whichever book you chose to get, I have both of them listed here so you know which chapter you're in. And now for the problem sets can be found within that custom book, and that's the page numbers that I have off to the side here. First thing you want to do is you open up this Getting Started section, and you'll want to set up Google Drive. Now, with your Iowa Central email, you have a Google Drive associated with that, since Google manages all student email accounts. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to make a folder within your Google Drive with your name, Physics 1 after your name, and then share that folder with me. Now, if you choose not to use your Iowa Central email, that's fine. You can use your personal one. I will reply to whichever email address you send me that folder. Next thing you want to do is you'll want to set up Concept Coach. And I have the PDF directions here. I just did the video for that, and I'll be uploading that shortly. So you'll have a video set of directions as well as the PDF to follow along. You'll need to download and install Logger Pro. It's the software. Let's see if I think you should be able to see this. It's the software. It'll look like this when you download it and get it opened up. We'll use this to analyze all of our video data as well as any graph data that we happen to have. You'll also have a first assignment. This just makes sure that you can access the materials you need to. You've got your Google Drive set up, and you're able to basically use everything you need to. Taking a look at the units have the same structure. First thing I have listed are your tests, and you'll have a version 1 and a version 2. Now, it doesn't matter. I think I explained this briefly in the syllabus, maybe somewhere in there, if you care to read that. But anyway, if you choose to do test 1.1, I mean, that's the first version that's due. Let's say you miss it, and then you have to do test 2. Now, I don't average scores, I just take the higher of the 2 scores. So even if you did test 1, and let's say you got a 60%, but you thought you could do better, take test 2 and see if you get better. If you get a 70%, I'll grade the 70 instead of the 60. Lab activities, this is where you'll turn in the labs right here. Now, all of the lab files will actually be posted on the Google Drive, and I'll go there in just a little bit. The passage sets, that's one part of the problem sets. Now, I listed those as separate from the problem sets just because here you can actually click on these, and then you'll click on the link and you'll go right to the passage set. That's where you'll enter your answers, but the actual questions are on this PDF. And so it's set up so that you can have them side by side. Like half of your window will be the questions here, the other half will be your Google form where you submit your answers. Now I have the same thing set up in the Getting Started, so why don't we take a look at that first. So if you look at assignment 1 here, part of what you're going to do is on Google Forms. So if you read down through here, you have some questions about the introduction. Make sure you go through and look at whatever you need to answer those. You also have a few introductory type questions that you'll need to answer in a short answer form. So if I click on this link, it should, alright, I might have to highlight the link. Oh, I guess I'll have to download. So we'll download this. There we go. Now I should be able to click on it. Alright. Maybe I need to check that link. Alright, well, I'll get back to checking that link, I guess. Oh, here we go. It just didn't send it to the browser right away. So this is what the Google form will look like. Your passage problems you'll answer the same way. It'll ask for your name and your class. And then, now for these ones, they actually has the question and then the answer. A few of them, like this one here, A, B, or C, well, what happens when a version 2 assignment is completed? Well, you don't have any. You don't know what A, B, and C are unless you have the document up side by side. So let me bring this down, this side of the window, and bring this one up over here. And so when you need to know what that one is, okay, so that one, there we go. What happens when version 2 assignments are completed? Is it A, B, or C? That's how most of your Google form completions will look like. I'll just have the letters over here on the form, and the question will actually be over here. Part of the reason I do that is because the questions that I've taken, not these ones, but the questions I have for the problem sets are out of the book, and I need to make sure I have those on a password protected area. And so that's why those are distributed via the INET site. And the Google Forms site, that's actually open. The link is just open for anybody that has the link. And so that's why that particular section will just have the answer sets there. But anyway, that's how you'll complete the Google Form portions of the assignments. Let's see, the labs you'll submit there, but the actual lab materials are on Google Drive. Most of the problem sets, so the problem sets are actually 4 parts. So one part was the passage sets, which have their own little section there. But you'll have problems assigned out of the custom book. You'll have problems assigned out of the conceptual book, the Tipper's book. And then you'll have questions that go along with the reading in the OpenStax book. And so each of those 3 segments all go in the grading category called problem sets. And you have the solutions to every problem in the book. And so one reason on the problem sets, if you note, let me put this off to the, I guess I'd have to download it to go off to the side, but notice I give you chapter, and well, page won't do you much good for looking through the problems, but chapter and then problem. So let's say chapter 2, problem 19. Let's say you get stuck on that one. You can go down here to chapter 2 and scroll down until you see problem 19. There are a whole bunch of problems in the book, so it might take you a while to scroll there, but get down to 19. There we go. So there's the worked out solution to that particular problem. And so hopefully that will help you as you prepare for class. Some of the problems are actually within the examples as well. Alright, so that's everything that you'll find on the INET site. You'll have the getting started information, and you're going to be submitting everything here. So you'll turn in your tests here, you'll turn in your labs here, you'll turn in your problem sets here, The passage sets are a little bit different. Those are only on the Google Drive or on the Google form. So that's why there's not a little drop box for those. And one nice thing about the iNet place is that it does organize your assignments over here, and you can always click over here and it shows you what assignments you have and which day it's due. Alright, so all the content, notice that if you wanted to find notes and examples, that's not here. It tells you to go to Google Drive. Let me flip over here to the Google Drive. That is not the Google Drive. There we go. And so once you open the link, or follow the link that I send out to you for the Google Drive, this is what you look at when you open that folder. Now I do suggest don't just open the link. Make sure you put it in your drive and open it up. But anyway, once you do that, you'll have your equation sheets will be listed here. Now there looks like a bunch of files. These aren't, you don't look at all of them. If you're only interested in just the equations, you click on this one and see it will list the equations for each of the sections. And it'll give you a little bit of a definition of what they mean. Now this is something that you should actually customize. So I'd recommend that if you work with paper, go ahead and print it off and then write on it. Or if you do all your work electronically, just move this into like OneNote or something like that, and then you can annotate it. Whoops. There we go. Another folder here for your final exam practice questions. I mean, you won't have a final exam for quite a while, but here's how you will study for it. I have all the past AP exams posted here. And that's where I take most of my questions. They're not usually word for word, but they are very similar. All right, the main part that you'll be interested in is under units here. And your first unit is the kinematics unit. And so you'll have the example lab here posted. So that's, oh, I don't have the actual lab posted. I'll get that posted here sometime before class starts. But this one will be your example lab, and it'll show you what doing a lab for this particular class means. If you click here, you'll have the file, do the README first. It'll walk you through the lab. And this one is actually complete. So I walk you through the data analysis and then the writing of the lab report. So that's a complete example. So make sure you take a look at that. Then all your notes will be here under Notes Examples. Each section is organized this way. And so there are 4 different sections for that first unit. So in the first section there, if you want to look at notes, you'll go here. And in this particular section, there are several video files because I'm going to show you how to do some video analysis. But if you want to just read about it, just click on the PDF. And then that's everything that I did for the first note set there. If you want to listen to it, do the MP4 that has the same name as the PDF file. And so this is me, talking about it. And one thing that might be good to do, one thing I did in grad school was I would have the PDF open while I was watching the video, and that helped quite a bit because that way I could write notes on the notes. It's a pretty good strategy that worked for me anyway. And so that'll be the notes that the key ideas that I think are important out of that particular section. And then most of physics is doing problems. So if I go back here, examples, for most sections I have quite a few examples posted. Now this one, not quite a few, I have 4. But what you'll find in each one of these is you'll find a PDF of the problem worked out, and you'll find a video of me actually either creating the PDF or talking about the PDF. It kind of depends on when they were done. This one looks like it's one of the earlier ones, so I think it's just me talking about the PDF document that's already done. I may or may not add things to it. Some of the newer ones I actually create as I'm talking, and others I've already done them for the in-class students, and then I just voice over for posting here for you online students. But every section will be just like that. You'll click on one, you'll have the note section, you'll have the PDF if you just want to read it, and you'll have the video if you want to watch it. and then you'll have the notes, oops, not the notes, the examples in the other section. Most of them will have a recommended and a optional. This one I just had enough for recommended, so these ones are the ones that I would do in class, and most likely some of these are newer, like I think these are the two newest ones. Those are ones that I actually did in class this fall. Let's find a different example. Let's go to Unit 2. There we go. So now if I go to this example set, yeah, there we go. So I'll have recommended examples. And yeah, there we go. Typically I have quite a few posted. These would be like the ones that I would do in class. And if you go back one set, the optional ones are ones that, I don't know, if you need more help, take a look at some of those. All right, let's see. So those are all the units. Oh, labs. I showed you the Unit 1. That one just has the example lab. Let's look at one where I have the actual lab posted. Here we go. So Unit 2, I have your actual lab file posted. So when you click there, you'll have a folder that'll contain the data files. Now for this particular lab, the data files are pictures. More of the labs, there'll be video files. You'll have a guidance, and so that's what you want to click on first. So like we'll click there. It'll give you a summary of what you're going to do. So it'll give you the purpose, it'll give you identify the main variables, it'll give you some pictures for the lab, it'll suggest how you should set up your spreadsheet for collecting data, it will show you any force diagrams that you happen to need in this case, it'll tell you a little bit about the relationships that are important there. So read through that first. The actual lab document is the blank document that you're going to use to fill out the rest of the lab. So you'll insert your name here, you'll update the date, you have the goal. Now, since we're doing this online, you have the equipment already listed here. You will have to identify what your variables are. I've included the picture graphic, included the procedure, and then now what you'll do is you'll fill out the data section and the discussion section, and then that's what you'll turn in. Again, if you wanted an example of that, that's what I have posted in this first unit. That's the example lab. Make sure you take a look at that so you know exactly how I want the labs done. All right, that should take care of everything you need to get started. Let's click back over to the iNet page one last time. There is a Unit 0. Now in iNet it doesn't show up there. Let's see if I've activated it in Google. Okay, I didn't put Unit 0 up there. Okay, I think I have it on the OneNote section. Yeah, here we go. So for the OneNote version of the class, which you can use this if you like, you'll have to ask me about it though to send you the link. Last semester I tried this, but everybody had problems getting on. It was primarily Microsoft's problem. I think they have it fixed, but I didn't want to start it yet for this semester and have everybody drop because they couldn't get it in or get logged in. So if you use a tablet with a stylus, let me know, and this may be something you're interested in, and I can send you the link. If not, don't even worry about this part. But I'll have this part also put on the Google Drive so that you can see it. So the Unit 0, what it'll have is it'll have a Logger Pro section here. Let me move this window over so you can see those. And so it'll go over how to enter data in Logger Pro, do equation fitting, video analysis, and then a couple specialty items like fitting data to a line. And so like if you have data, let me move this back over, that looks like it's hyperbolic, but you need to fit it to a line, this goes over how to do that. You also don't need to buy a calculator for the class. What I recommend is this 92 emulator, and it'll work on a Windows machine. It'll also work on a Android phone or tablet if you use the 92 Plus free app from the Google Play Store. I haven't found one yet that runs on the Mac, so if you have a Mac, just use whatever's available for the Mac. A couple of these others, let's let's see, this one. Oh, scanning to Google Drive. If you haven't used Google Drive very much, I would suggest going through this. It'll show you how to scan the documents. Actually, I think I'll create one that's a little bit better. That was not a very good picture. But I'll have an updated version of this available for you on the Google Drive. But I highly recommend using the Google Drive for screen captures, or for if you write out your assignments and you need to scan things in. It works so much better than just taking pictures with your phone. If you take a picture with your phone, you'll get a gigantic file, and then you'll try to drag it into your PDF document, and it'll be upside down. Well, that part's not too bad. You can make it right side up, but your document size will just be so large that it's not worth it. The Google Drive feature will compress the file, and it will put all of the scans in a single document. And so I'll get an updated version of that posted. You don't even need that one, and the example lab, I already have that one posted in Google Drive for you. All right, that should do it for the introduction here. So just to recap, you'll turn in everything here at the INET site with the little hand. If you're familiar with, if you've taken classes here before, you're familiar with INET, that'll be pretty easy to do. If not, you probably use Blackboard or something like that. Moodle's very similar to Blackboard. Your content will all be on the Google Drive. So any of your examples you want to look at, the notes, those will all be here. In addition to the study items for studying for your exams, particularly your final exam. But if you want to study for any of the exams, still take a look through here. All right, if you have questions, make sure you let me know. You can contact me via 2 different email addresses, either the Iowa Central email. If you use that one and you have your INET site open, the Compose New email over here, yours probably looks like this. I think it looks like this. But the Compose New email, just choose my name from there. Or you can send it right to the Google account that we have for the class. One advantage to using my Gmail address is that it will go right to my phone, and so I'll be able to answer you probably more quickly. That should be it. Good luck with class, and make sure if you have any problems, make sure you contact me. I'm pretty quick at getting back to you. And good luck, and don't procrastinate. Physics is a pretty tough subject, but if you keep on top of things, you'll get through it.